Hi guys, this is Real Career Young Money again here for another exciting episode. We're trying to make them more regular, so you're going to be seeing a lot more content from us coming in the near future. My name is Zach. This is Philip, just like last time.
Hello everybody, I'm Philip Henchman, and today we have my friend Jacob Burnett.
Hello.
Jacob, tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living right now?
So I work for a company called Insulation Unlimited. I am primarily an estimator, project managing, and my title is a field rep, so there's kind of a lot that goes into it, but primarily I'm looking at the job on the front end. I am setting the job up and getting the guys ready to do the work.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Awesome. Tell us, about, kind of, we're going to go back in time a little bit. Tell us about like your college and education experience, and kind of what led you to where you are now too.
So I went, I've got a bachelor's degree in business, and then I came out of that and I took a regular corporate kind of job. It was a big company. It didn't have a lot of flexibility with it, I guess. And then I legitimately completely changed careers to come into a residential insulation job just the change of the culture, change of the job, the flexibility, those sorts of things.
Okay. So what is your overall view on college? So you got the 4-year bachelor degree.
Where'd you go, by the way?
Dalton State.
Dalton State.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What was your degree in, by the way?
Business.
Okay. So do you feel like you use that degree in your everyday career?
Yeah. So I think that when you go to college, you learn how to study, which is terrific because most of the time you don't otherwise.
Yeah.
But for using business is very wide. So I use business like quality improvement stuff, marketing stuff. I mean, there's a lot of business that I use on a regular basis. I've even kept, like a true nerd, I've kept some of my textbooks, right?
Oh, no way.
They're good textbooks, and I think they're awesome, and I will go back to that sort of thing. But by and large, like, you could go get a book, you could go get some of these things online and probably do just as good.
Okay.
In my industry now, in my first career in a corporate setting, I was literally rubber stamping drawings, and they're like, "Oh, you graduated with a business degree. Okay, you can move on up." But in my job now, I use the material, and I don't need that piece of paper so much, I don't think. So it's just a little bit, it's less needed to have that paper, but I still say I do use the skills.
Okay. When you first got your job, right after you graduated, could you have gotten that job without the degree you got?
No chance.
Okay.
I'd still be rubber stamping drawings.
Still, yeah, love it.
That's in the job you were in before Insulation Unlimited.
Correct.
Okay.
My corporate job.
Could you have gotten a job at Insulation Unlimited?
I think probably, it's hard to say. Like, I can't speak for the owner of the company, but I don't know that he knew that.
Okay.
My guess is maybe no. I got the job because I was friends with the owner. There was a man retiring out of the company. That was a mentor of mine. I told them that I wanted to work with them because I saw what kind of business they were running and how they were running business, and they offered me in.
So your view on college would be kind of, it's good as a way to start, but maybe you didn't learn everything that's critical for your job.
Yes. I think college, like, if you're going to go to college, you need to have a very specific play.
Okay.
You can absolutely go to school, you can get a degree in business, and you can take a whatever job with, you're not going to have any fun. Like, you could make just as much money, you could have a better time doing something else without a degree. Like, degrees are good. Like, please, if you're going to be a doctor, please go get a degree.
Yeah, especially if you're operating on me.
If you're going to be like an accountant, please go get a degree. Like, if you've got something specific you want to do, you need to go get a degree. But it's not like everybody needs to go get a degree because you're a low life if you don't or something.
Yeah.
Sure. So you talked about how you got into your job by the friend.
Yeah.
Tell us kind of how a typical day usually looks like.
Yeah, so I'm typically going to both new construction and lived-in homes. I am meeting with clients. I'm finding out what they need. Excuse me. Finding out what they need and what they want, and then seeing sometimes those things aren't the same, right? So I'm having to kind of walk through them like, you want this, but you don't need it. And I'm okay. I have definitely sold a lot of jobs where I've told them like, look, you don't need these things.
Yeah.
I see that you want them, and they say, yes, I want them, and we'll do it. Like, I'm not going to say I'm not going to help you do what you want to, but kind of pairing those things together. So I'm going to job sites, I'm measuring the houses, I'm meeting with the clients, and I'm setting the jobs up. So sometimes that's as easy as walking around a new construction house that doesn't have any drywall, doesn't have anything on it, and I'm shooting a laser around and writing down measurements.
Yeah.
Or it could be crawling through a crawl space, looking to make sure that I see all the little things that I need to see for the project. So it gets kind of tricky when I have to go into a crawl space and then turn around and go in some little lady's, white carpet house.
So you're doing both kind of the field work and the sales, customer fronting.
Yeah, it all kind of goes together. It's a small company, so we all wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely all this, everything that happens before the job actually takes place. Like the actual work happens, I'm typically setting it up.
Okay.
So when you were younger and you were thinking about what your career is going to look like, did you imagine yourself selling insulation for a living?
No.
Would you say that there's a lot of jobs out there that are just regular everyday things?
Yes. Yeah.
Give us maybe a few examples
Yeah.
of what that would be, because you're in construction.
Yeah.
So what would be some other sales estimating type roles for all the different?
In any job,
available.
like any job that you take in construction particularly, like there's a lot of things that go into building a house or building a commercial property or whatever. So whether you're plumbing, electrician, installation, or roofing, like you have somebody who is sales, you have somebody who is doing papers, you have people who have to solve problems, you have people who have to put in the grit work. So I think, people, particularly pre-college, often are like, well, I like to help people, so I need to be a social worker. Which is fine, but that's often a very difficult living to make.
Really.
Versus people legitimately have problems with their houses. Their house is going to deteriorate further, or sometimes it's major allergy issues like asthma kind of stuff that we get up with, or it's their house is unbearable. I actually had a couple that couldn't sleep in the same room because of how the house was set up. So she had to go sleep somewhere else, but we fixed the problem. They can go back and sleep in their beds. We absolutely help people. You don't have to become a social worker.
So you're helping people improve their life, improve their quality of life.
Yes.
Through providing excellent benefits and through construction.
Yes.
Really.
So are you saying you actually feel good about being a salesperson? Is that what you're saying? You actually feel good.
Yes.
You can sleep at night.
Yes, I sleep just fine. Actually, the reason that I like the job that I'm in is because I can sell the product how I need to sell the product honestly, not like push the sales, and I have to give this pitch and I have to sell this package.
Yeah.
I can literally. The nice thing is our owner has set me up to where I am good at my job. He's given me a bunch of training. So when I go to the house, even, they call me for installation, and instead of me being there only to sell that installation, I may tell them, like, you really need HVAC work done.
Okay.
One of my biggest fails ever, this lady bought all of my installation package, and her power bill was still just outrageously high. Reason? It was the HVAC. Whose fault is that? It's mine. I should have seen the HVAC. I knew better than that. And it wasn't, I certainly didn't do it dishonestly, but I just wasn't paying enough attention to see the issue. My job is to help the customers get the answers they need to make their house.
Well, would you like to tell us what the name of your company is?
It's Installation Unlimited.
Okay, so what you do is you go in there and kind of, what's the advantages to why would somebody call y'all? And what's the advantages to have y'all come out? There's long-term benefits, I assume?
Yeah, if you've got high power bills or your comfort level's off, we've had people that, they want to build out these fancy rooms up in their upstairs, but there's just not enough insulation. They can't use that space because it's so uncomfortable. So
Or if it's a new house, I'm sure you're building new construction.
Yeah, we definitely do new construction.
Yeah.
And we can make a really high performance house. And we did, I think we did 10 houses in 2019, maybe.
Okay.
That were literally, they put some solar panels on the roof and the power meter spins backwards.
Wow.
They make money on the power bill.
Absolutely.
So y'all did many houses in 2019. 19, but you did 10 of them
Yeah,
like this.
10 of them. They're called net zero houses.
Okay.
Cool.
And yeah, we
Nice.
you can the more effort you
That's
put
not
in
common for this area, correct?
No, heck no. It's common. Code in Chattanooga area is definitely
Behind the times.
to
maybe?
make. No, I wouldn't say it's behind the times.
I know a lot of the houses I look at behind the times.
I'm just in an industry I have nothing about. Sorry.
Yeah, I like where the code is, and a code house performs pretty well, but you have options to make them better.
Okay, so is this spend a little bit of money now, save
Yeah,
a
oh,
lot
yeah.
of money
Oh,
later, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, exactly.
I gotcha.
So Jacob, I know that you do a little bit on the operational side as far as hiring folks.
Yeah.
Not to get into that, but tell me some good characteristics that you see in like maybe young folks that are getting into different careers. What would be some like base level career type characteristics that are good for young folks?
To come into this industry?
Yeah. I mean, I'll throw an example. For example, showing up on time. That seems
Yeah.
like it's a given.
Yeah.
But in today's, it's usually not.
Take
Yeah.
a bath every once in a while.
Right.
But what would be some
Well, I
other
don't need to
things?
take a bath. I'm gonna get stinky.
Right.
So if I'm interviewing people, one of the things I typically ask people is like, tell me something that you did that was really hard. I want to know kind of the durability of the people. And that's not just in a labor industry. Like if I were hiring somebody to sit at a desk and they are able to run ultra marathons, like they're disciplined enough to go do something like that, then they're probably disciplined enough to sit down at their desk and bang out their work instead of cruising through the internet or whatever. I like to see people that are able to do things that are hard, for their own sake as well as for the sake of the company.
Okay.
Do you see a lot of that not happening?
I see a lot of that not happening.
Yeah.
We've got some older guys that are like pushing up against retirement. They're tough as nails. They used to like work in crawl spaces before headlamps were invented, right? They didn't want to go and plug up string lights everywhere, so they would open all the foundation vents of the crawl space, get in the crawl, wait for their eyes to adjust, and go to work. I'm not doing that.
No. Heck no.
These guys are tough, and increasingly, I feel like the workforce is less and less tough.
Okay.
I've often said that if you just do what you say you're going to do, you're going to kill it in business because most people do not do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah, we are typically a higher priced insulation contractor, but we're in business probably primarily because we try to be very exact on what we deliver, right? It's going to cost this much, we're going to be there Tuesday, and we try to do it that way. We're not perfect by any stretch, but that's the goal for us.
Try to do what you say you're going to do.
Do what we say we're going to do.
There you go. I love it.
People turn out, they love it.
Go ahead.
Sorry, one more question.
Yep.
So the viewers at home, they kind of want to know what can someone expect to make in not just the insulation business, but also just in the business of like construction as like a sales person for I know this is a huge broad stroke.
Yeah.
But for insulation, you can say specifically to that, roughly a range, or you can say to, the concrete guy, the
siding
the
guy,
siding
roofing guy.
I think my experience, our company's price structure is set up differently, but I think most sales positions in construction are set up to where you make a small base and you have commission tacked on it.
Okay.
So if you suck as a salesperson, you're not making really any money at all.
Sure.
But if you can start building these things up, your commissions are going to be significantly higher.
Would you say the range of like 50 to 90K?
Probably, but
And we're in Tennessee. 50K is a decent living in Tennessee.
Sure.
75K, you're well above average. Just
Yeah,
FYI for our
yeah.
more global viewers.
It's not Portland money.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Cool.
Let me ask you, unless
Go for it.
let me ask you this. We know that you've been doing it in this industry that you're in now, and it's kind of your full time.
Yeah.
But in talking to you over the last little while, we've discovered that you kind of saw that there was something else that you could do to kind of supplement. Why don't you tell us about that?
So as I'm selling packages for people's crawl spaces, for primarily it was encapsulations. And encapsulations in the Southeast, we're very humid here. They're becoming more and more popular because it really is an issue. But the product that we were offering with our company didn't address bulk water problems. So like standing water, puddles, that sort of thing in the crawl space at all. So I'm really only offering a half solution. So I got with our owner, like, and I'm just telling him honestly, I would like to offer this one way or another, and the solution was that I was going to offer it on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So I have begun dealing with water problems in residential houses on the side, either by myself or taking on a few guys to do it, which I did. I did it just as like a favor, like, oh please, I can't find anyone, help me find somebody, and I'm like, sure, I'll do it.
Somebody you'd already done a work.
Yeah,
with,
I mean, I'm bidding,
Yeah.
I'm bidding a job with my day job, and and I'm just like, sure, I'll do it as a favor. But then it's grown out of, now it's out of hand, and I've got to get help, and I've got to go get my business licenses and this kind of stuff, rather than just being like, oh yeah, I'll do it as a favor.
So you didn't learn about your side hustle by watching the YouTube ad.
Correct.
And
You have to get out into it.
Oh, you
And
didn't join
you
a
didn't
course?
You didn't do the drop shipping Amazon
No.
club. You didn't do the okay.
No.
So you saw a need in the marketplace
Yeah.
that you were already kind of close to. You
Yeah.
saw your group of customers. You
Yeah.
said, okay, there's a good little niche
Yeah.
that I can potentially go into.
Yeah.
And so last year, what did you do just on the side in sales?
I sold.
And obviously, there's very little, just for our viewers, there's very little cost as far as other than just a lot of grunt work to moving rocks underneath houses.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what would be?
So I sold about 11,000 last year
Cool.
on these projects. Yeah.
Kind of
And
year one starting out.
So I think I started in 19.
Okay.
And that
So-
was barely pushing it, right?
I wasn't pushed. I literally,
That was not
I have
even
not
pushing.
pushed it any at all.
Okay.
Even now, I have not pushed it.
You're not out
Okay.
there passing out flowers,
There's
flyers
nothing.
at the grocery store, nothing, no
it's
billboards.
Purely word of mouth. Hey, this guy,
Wow.
you can go use him.
And we're in March, and you're getting 75-80% of what you've already did last year
Yeah.
already.
3
So-
months in.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
you're projected to be 30
Yeah,
roughly
potentially.
range.
Yeah, potentially.
You're gonna have to hire somebody, aren't you?
I'm gonna have to hire people.
So
That's a great problem to have,
yeah,
though.
yeah, for sure.
So, how have you found people to do that hard work? And tell us a little bit about. So, what do you actually do in the crawl space?
Yeah.
Give me an example of a difficult spot in the crawl space, and I'll show the viewers why they probably don't want to start their own.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've got to get the water away from the house one way or another. So,
Sure.
in theory, like you can put French drains or something around the outside of the house, which is gravel and pipe, and the water can wash away.
Yeah.
But often, like it's not an option, or they don't want to spend that kind of money, and they're trying to take more a lesser approach to it. So I've done as much as put the French drain on the inside of the crawl space.
That's a lot of digging inside a crawl space.
It's a lot of digging inside a crawl space. I did one probably last year. Yeah, beginning of last year. It was a brand new house with a swimming pool of water in the inside.
No way.
So it's already got all the French draining and stuff on the outside. You have to do something on the inside. So we dug a trench around. We put piping in it. We filled it all full of gravel. We put sump pump in. We put 2.5 tons of gravel into a crawl space by hand.
Oh, wow.
It gets kind of crazy.
Wow.
And-
That's like the Great Escape. You know, seeing the guys in the tunnel, like, we got to get the dirt out of here. You're
Yeah.
doing the opposite. We
Yeah.
got to get the
Bring
gravel
it in.
in.
So my brother-in-law did one job with you, and, and halfway through that job, he was like, "I wanted to quit so bad." And Jacob, I'm gonna guess that you pretty much have an unlimited amount of customers in the future because that's difficult work.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so is it easy? No.
No, not yet, sort of.
No, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes, man.
Yeah, I usually don't go to the gym for like the day before or 2 days after. Like it'll pretty well trash your body.
Yeah.
But right now, you're kind of getting to the point where you're going to have to hire people because
Yeah.
you're running out of time, aren't you?
Exactly.
Time management
Exactly.
is becoming a real
And so I'm having to like chase guys down. I'm always, like if you can get to know people in an industry, the old adage, show me your friends and I'll show you your future, right? So
Sure.
like I'm always looking to be around those kind of people anyway.
Yeah.
So I actually met a guy that I'm working with now. I met him at a volleyball game. He had some mutual friends. Said he wanted to change careers. He was going to do something totally different. Said he wants to go into electrical, but just a nice guy that wants to do electrical.
Yeah.
I had some electrician buddies. They hired him right away, and then I'm looking to hire him on the side to do just a little bit of work. I don't do a lot of jobs. I'm doing, 2 or 3 a month. Really is all I can really stack. So if I get some help, I can start putting some more on.
this business you can scale though, right?
It absolutely is.
Unlimited potential.
As long as I can get guys in to do it, which is the difficulty, because you tell most people like, hey, you want to come put 2.5 tons of gravel in?
I'm out.
No way.
Yeah.
And so if you're a young guy watching this and you want some well-paid but very tough work,
Yeah.
hit me up on Facebook and I will hook you up with Jacob.
For sure.
For sure.
And same thing goes with installation. What would be the kind of person that you would kind of love to hire there? Installation Unlimited, by the way.
I mean, it's the same. Like, if you can show up on time and people think, you need to sit at a desk to make a decent career, right? But the reality is you can go get super dirty and make a good career.
Yeah. That's a
And
good
so if you're, willing to actually get out and do the work, to me, like, I don't want to sit at a desk.
Yeah.
No offense to desk sitters, right? But like,
He's messing with us.
I can't believe this.
I legitimately think, like, you kind of go and we're like, you know what? I'm tougher than I thought I was. Look
Yeah.
at there. And like, I value that as to be able to do it. Am I going to retire moving gravel into crawl spaces? Not a chance. Like, my body will not put up with that. But by the time I get to like where my body won't put up with that, hopefully I've got this thing set up to where it's not that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for either, like, if you want to work with your hands and you can work hard and you can show up on time and you can learn things that are fairly simple, and just not be scared of it and go after it, then yeah, for sure, come work for us.
Man, there's an opportunity right there, folks. We're giving business advice and employment advice, and you've heard it right here on the Real Career Young Money channel.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks, Jacob, for coming on.
Of course, appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.